here again and so glad to talk to you.
Hello everyone, this is Akshay here. Very much thrilled to talk to you. Both of us, Seema and me, we have done our engineering from NIT Jaipur, and Seema has pursued her masters from Indian Institute of Sciences, and we are both in Bangalore working for top-notch companies.
Yeah, both of us are from the same batch of electronics and communication from NIT Jaipur, and we are married for 18 years now, and blessed to have a son, Vibhor, who studies in class 9. So with the experience which we carry from 18 years of married life and the experience which we have gained through counseling hundreds of couples in relationship and marriage issues, we come to you with our series, Happily Married Ever After, Myths and Facts. So for those of you who are not married yet, these sessions will still be a lot of value add because it will set a right foundation for you for the years to come.
So before we get into the discussion further, let me start with a real incident that happened a few years back. It was January 2018, and I was on my lunch table in my office, and there was this colleague of mine. His name was Vinay, and Vinay was just back from one of his vacations or one of the weddings that he attended in Pattaya. And it was a wedding of his friend Shrikant and Bhagya. And they have been classmates for some time. And this Shrikant and Bhagya, they knew each other. They had been dating for last 2 years. And they both belonged to some affluent families. And Vinay was gaga about that wedding. He was like talking in detail about like how things went there, how the functions went there, the food, the music, everything was so superb that he was like mesmerized by that. And that is what he was sharing. And it left an impression on me also. Then over a period of time, I just forgot that. And it seems like 7-8 months passed by. And I was meeting regularly to him. And then one of those times, like I think it was December 2018. And this context of Pattaya came again. And I just happened to ask him, how are your friends, Shrikant and Bhagya? And with a dull face, he said, actually, they broke off 2 months back. And I was like, what? They had such a beautiful relationship that time. You were telling like they had a long time, they were knowing each other. They had 2 years of dating and they had planned this wedding so well. And they were not able to survive that wedding for just a year also. I was shocked.
And you know, if you are listening to me today, ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपके मैरिड लाइफ में कोई challenges चल रही है और या आपके कोई बहुत ही near and dear ones है, they are suffering in their married life. It is not that they are in the stage of, getting divorced or something, but deep within, they know that their marriage has lost the spark. There is no chemistry. There is no love. They are just living their life, but they are not enjoying the married life anymore. And it's so ironical, when two people, they start relationship, they dream a beautiful life together. बहुत बड़े-बड़े सपने उन लोग साथ में बुनते हैं. But life में चलते-चलते रोजमर्रा के frustration के बाद, what happens basically? They don't even realize that these two people who were ready to die for each other, जो एक दूसरे के लिए जान देने के लिए तैयार थे, today they reach a situation where they can hardly bear each other. And this is really very, very painful. And when Akshay and I started our married life, the story was no different for both of us.
Yes, it was similar. Like talking about our life, actually, Seema and me, we both met in NIT Jaipur. And by the time we reached the final year of engineering, I was madly in love with her. Seema was smart, intelligent, beautiful, and she had everything that a boy will look into a girl. And it seemed like she would be the right life partner for me. And it kind of became a goal for me at that point of time that I should marry this girl only. And can you believe I wrote poetry and did a lot of stuff that time, which today seems comical. But cutting the long story short, there was initial hiccups. Initially, like it was a friendship, and slowly it culminated into a beautiful relationship called love. And after a few hiccups, some resistance from the family side, we got married in December 2000.
Just forgetting our marriage date also. And yeah, so basically, when we started our married life, I was thinking that it is like a dream come true for me. And it will be some romantic movie script come true. And I was really looking forward to, after marriage. But even during the first year of the marriage, my dream completely shattered. See, Akshay, what used to happen? I used to come from office stressed out, and I used to like to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to spend some time together. I wanted for us to discuss some things. But when you used to come from office, I felt all you wanted is to sit on a couch and watch TV. And I remembered, just few years back during our hostel time, you were the same person who, like, if you were standing in the hostel gate, जब तक मैं आंखों के side से दूर नहीं चली जाती, you will not leave that place. And that same person at home, you are just simply ignoring me, and you are giving all attention to TV. Not even you are not ready to listen to me, and this used to hurt me a lot, and I used to feel rejected, left out. और कितनी बार ऐसा हुआ व्हेन वी वेंट टू स्लीप और मैं तुमसे कुछ बात करना चाह रही थी एंड आई वाज शेयरिंग समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट टू यू एंड सडनली मुझे स्नोरिंग की आवाज आती है एंड आई एम लाइक हु इज स्नोरिंग नाउ एंड आई सी दैट यू हैव फॉलन asleep while I'm talking and I'm in the middle of some important heart to heart discussion, and all these things really pinched me. But most of all, Akshay, you never appreciated me at that time. You stopped appreciating me. Like before marriage, you used to appreciate, compliment me on the way I dress, on the way I look, and you used to tell me those three magical words, I love you, so many times. But after marriage, you suddenly never ever spoke those words. You never appreciated me. I felt as if I was not cherished. I felt I was not loved, and I felt I was not cared for.
Agree, Seema. And to be very honest, like I was not enjoying the journey that time either. So irony was like I was also suffering the same pain because I was doing whatever I could do. So I always prioritized your things above mine. You know where our offices were, right? I used to take a detour from my office just to make sure that I picked you up on the way home. So many times when we are going to places, I used to make sure that we should go together, not because you were needed there or you had something to do there, but then so that we can spend some time together, right? Now, I was confused because if my love is not able, like if my actions are not able to demonstrate my love for you, I don't know how words could have done that. And मेरा हमेशा से एक dream था, like that whenever I get married, my wife will bring tea, like she will get up early, she'll prepare the tea, and we will have our day started at early morning, having our tea together. And later, after marriage, I realized that Seema is not an early morning person. And it was me who used to get up, get the maid inside the house, get the milk, boil the milk, get the geyser turned on, and all those basic stuff in the morning. Correct. But then what frustrated me the most was I started feeling that I'm being controlled. You used to leave office early, right? You used to leave before me. And the moment you used to reach office, you'll give me a call and checking, not knowing, wanting to know about me, but checking whether I have left for office or what time I'm leaving for office. In the afternoon, you'll call me again just to know what time I'll be going for lunch, whether I'm spending more time with my friends chit-chatting over lunch or whatever, or whether I'm eating junk food or not. So I was feeling controlled from other sides. I was not having that freedom. It felt like, I don't know whether you're my wife or a second boss.
And I'm sure, Akshay, that these are not the only few things which which were there at that time, which was disturbing us. These are just the few things which are on the top of our mind right now. And why on earth we are sharing this with you? We are sharing this with you because we know that your stories might not be same as ours, but you have your own share of stories, your own issues, your own heartaches, and your own pains and concerns which you are suffering from. See, Akshay and I are here to give you hope. We did not start with the best of the best married life, happily married life. We started very low. We were in a very bad state of our relationship when we started off. But we give you hope that if we can make a turnaround, so can you. And getting happily married is not which comes by birth. It is a skill that we can learn. There is just some tips and some things which we need to understand about each other, and then we can grow to the next level. So that's all. Basically, I understand that these sessions will help you because it will give you answers to many of your questions which you are suffering to.
As a matter of fact, there's no school, no college, no institution which tells us how to live a beautiful married life. Unfortunately, for most of the cases, we don't have our parents also where we can derive inspiration for a healthy or successful marriage. And somehow, I don't know why, but when we come to that stage that we are getting married or we are getting into a relationship, we always feel that I'm an exception. I always felt like that. कि मेरे साथ तो कुछ नहीं होगा. My married life will be picture perfect. Ours will be a role model. We'll always be lovebirds like we had been earlier, and will be a role model to the whole world.
Yeah, very true. Actually, we had studied engineering, we had studied calculus, differential calculus, and so much. But no one ever sat down and taught us what to do to live a happy married life. If a person has fever, then he knows that he has to go to a doctor. There are friends and there are relatives who suggest them, why don't you visit a doctor? But when a person is suffering in marriage, in India, in our society, there is a taboo to go to a marriage counselor. Our wife does not get strength to ask to the husband, let's go and visit a marriage counselor. Our husband does not get the strength to ask to a wife, let's go and talk to someone. They keep wearing the mask of happiness and they just keep living. Outside, everything looks pleasant. Outside, everything looks beautiful. But inside, they are suffering. And why I say so? Because this was the condition of Akshay and me. Externally, everyone thought we were perfect. We were the best match for each other. But internally, both of us were suffering. And, deep within, we still cared for each other. We wanted our marriage to work. We did not want it to fail. But we did not know what to do. We did not know how we could do it. And most importantly, we were confused. Why on earth was it happening to us?
And as they say, like when the student in you is ready, the teacher arrives. And exactly the same thing happened with us also. We got blessed that we got into some very good association where we attended some profound workshops, sessions about marriage. And through that, we came across some wonderful books that all of us should read about marriage, love, and relationships.
Yeah, definitely. And, we will discuss about these books in the coming session. And, what about me? I grew up with very fancy thoughts about love and devouring all the Hindi movies. Pyar kiya nahi jata, pyar ho jata hai. And all these kind of concepts. But, when I matured and I realized that what I was thinking as love all my life was perhaps not love at all. And I came to know that psychologists call this an in love or falling in love phenomena. And the scientists and the psychologists say that this in love phenomena is not love actually. And during this time, two people, they don't need to put any effort. They just get attracted to each other. They just get obsessed with each other. Every day, every moment, they are thinking about each other effortlessly. Every night, both of them sleep thinking about the other person. Every morning, they get up thinking about the other person. They think that both of them are perfect. Others can find faults in them, but they cannot see faults in the other person. They think that they are perfect for each other and that they are never ever going to fight. And wasn't it true, Akshay? Like when I look back, when he was writing maybe the romantic poems, or when he was, standing till I was going out of sight and all these things, maybe that was an in-love phenomena, and that was not probably true love at all. And how strange is it, isn't it?
Actually, the psychologists say that this in-love phenomena is not a fact; it's a myth. An average life of this romantic phenomena is about 2 to 3 years. It varies from person to person, situation to situation, but then over a period of time, it fades away. And that is when the cruel reality strikes in. And that is when you start seeing the fault in the other person, which you are not able to because you are in that phenomena. And once that is over, you start realizing or you start finding traits in the other person, which are so very irritating to you. But then it was not visible earlier.
That in-love phenomena or falling in love is magical. It seems that it is eternal. It is going to last forever. But after marriage, the reality sinks in and that magic slowly diminishes. What happens is that you see that in your life, there is other work to do. There are other chores to complete. There is the bed to be made, the utensils to be cleaned, the clothes to be washed, the finances to be managed. And in this day-to-day work, that love, it continues to die. And for me, I was always a believer that love is natural. You don't have to put effort to make the love growing. It will automatically be there as it happened. It happened automatically, right? So I always believe that love will always be automatic, and we need not put any effort to keep that love fire kindled. But gradually I realized that we need to put hard work. After marriage, we need to put the hard work for falling in love again. Or maybe I should say, we should put the hard work for falling in love for the first time. After the initial euphoria of that in love phenomena, the hard work of trying to love each other despite the imperfections begin. And that is when the journey of true love starts. At that time, there are no shooting stars, wo chand tare tod lao. There are no deep emotions. There is no electrifying kiss. And at that time is a time to understand each other, to know each other, to work for each other, and to make sure that there is more understanding in marriage than misunderstanding.
So, in short, marriage is not a destination. Marriage is a work under progress. So there are so many such discussions, so many such questions that we'll be taking care of in the coming weeks. And we'll be understanding why there are differences between husband and wife, and how can we take care of these differences to have a beautiful life together.
Yeah, very true. So we will understand what is the hard work that we need to do to keep the love alive. What change we need to do in ourselves so that the spice remains there in our marriage.
Why your spouse is not able to understand your love when you're doing so much for the other person. Correct? And what is this common disturbing factor which you can fix, or how can you fix that common disturbing factor so that you can have a fulfilled life together?
With the answers of these questions and many more, we will come back to you so that your love you can actually grow in love and take your love to the next level. So that's all from our side. Love you so much. Keep growing in love. Remain happy. Be blissful, and see you all next time. And then, bye-bye. Good night. Take care. Love you. Take care.